The morning air hung thick with a mix of floral arrangements and expensive colognes as limousines rolled up to the grand Alvern estate. News cameras clicked. Influencers posed for selfies in gowns worth more than most people's homes, and waiters scurried past carrying champagne flutes. This was a wedding of a year. The union of Devon Alverton, heir to a billion-dollar real estate empire, and Madeline Pierce, heiress to a luxury cosmetics fortune. But among the glittering crowd of celebrities, business tycoons, and socialites, one woman stuck out like a coffee stain on a white silk napkin. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more, share to friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far a story goes. Her name was Mabel Davis. She wore a simple navy blue dress that stopped just above her ankles, paired with flat black shoes. No designer label in sight. Her gray streak braids were tied back into a low bun, and her only accessory was a time-worn brown purse tucked under her arm. Heads turned. Eyes squinted. Whispers fluttered like nervous butterflies. "Is she one of the caterers?" Someone sneered, barely hiding their laughter. "No way she's a guest," said another, sipping rose. "She looks like she just came from the dollar store." Mabel ignored them. She moved through the crowd with quiet confidence, scanning the lavish courtyard until she spotted a familiar face. Mrs. Eileen Maddox, the groom's grandmother. Mabel offered a small wave. Eileen smiled warmly and gestured her over. But before Mabel could reach her, two bridesmaids, dressed in sequin gowns that glinted like knives in the sunlight, blocked her path. "You lost, ma'am?" one asked, voice syrupy sweet, but eyes sharp. "No," Mabel replied calmly. "I'm here for the wedding." "Well, the kitchen is around the back," the other chimed in, tossing her curls. "They're probably waiting on you." "I'm not staff," Mabel said, standing firm. "I was personally invited." They looked her up and down, faces twisted with condescension. "Oh, by whom?" one demanded. Before Mabel could answer, a tall man in a tuxedo approached. Kendrick Alverton, Devon's cousin. His tone dripped with mock amusement. "This is a private event, ma'am," he said, loud enough for others to hear. "We can call security to escort you off the premises, or you can quietly exit." Guests nearby chuckled. A few took out phones, filming the scene as if it were entertainment. Mabel's face remained composed, but her eyes hardened. "I'm not leaving," she replied. That's when the twist happened. A hush swept through the courtyard. From the upper balcony of the estate, Eileen Maddox stood with a microphone in her hand. "Is this how we treat guests now?" she asked, her voice booming across the courtyard. All eyes turned upward. "This woman," Eileen continued, descending the staircase slowly, "is Mabel Davis. She is not only my personal friend, but the very reason our family has its fortune. 35 years ago, when my husband died unexpectedly, Mabel, then a financial advisor and one of the best in the country, guided me through the darkest period of my life." People stared, mouths slightly open. "She invested our remaining funds when everyone else told me to give up. She turned our sinking company into a global real estate empire. Everything you see here, the estate, the fortune, even this wedding, none of it exists without her." Now gasps echoed. The same people who had just mocked Mabel moments before shifted uncomfortably in their heels and tailored suits. She never asked for recognition, never sought credit. She simply did her job with honor, dignity, and brilliance. And today, she came here not as a curiosity or a spectacle, but as family. One of the bridesmaids stumbled backward. Another turned pale. Kendrick tried to melt into the crowd. Eileen reached Mabel and gave her a warm hug. "I apologize for the disgraceful welcome," she said, loudly enough for all to hear. Mabel smiled slightly. "It's all right. Sometimes society forgets where true value lies." Then came the final blow. Eileen turned back to the crowd. "In fact, I recently transferred a majority stake of the Alverton Empire to Mabel, effective last month. So, technically, she's wealthier than any of us here." Complete silence. Champagne glasses were quietly set down. Influencers lowered their phones. No one dared speak. The woman they had mocked dismissed, and tried to remove was now the most powerful person in the room. Mabel took a small step forward. "Let this be a lesson to everyone here," she said, her voice steady. "Your clothes, your title, your bank account, they don't make you better than anyone. It's your character, your heart, and how you treat those who seem beneath you. You never know who you're talking to or who you're laughing at." People began to nod. A few looked away, ashamed. As the ceremony began shortly after, Mabel sat beside Eileen in the front row, treated with the reverence and respect she had long earned but never demanded. The rest of the wedding proceeded with newfound humility in the air. Moral lesson: never judge people by appearance or possessions. True worth isn't in what's worn but in what's done, in kindness offered, and the wisdom shared quietly behind the scenes. Society often values flash over substance, but as Mabel proved, real power walks humbly. If this story moved you, inspired you, or even made you think twice about the people we often overlook, don't keep it to yourself. Share this story. Talk about it. Let it spark a conversation in your home, school, or workplace. And if you want more real, raw, and powerful storytelling that entertains and enlightens, make sure you follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because these are the stories that change minds. And maybe, just maybe, change the world.